Hey guys, welcome to Get Busy Watching. I'm your host, Honest Dan. Let's talk movies.
Relax, be cool, cause if you don't, you'll act like a fool, so be cool.
In commemoration of the upcoming sequel, A Quiet Place Part 2, I'm taking a look back on the first one. I've only seen it the one time in theaters during its initial run. Haven't seen it again, bits and pieces here and there, but never an entire sit-through. I remember really liking it when it first came out, so let's see how it holds up. This is my honest opinion of A Quiet Place. The world has been taken over by monsters that attack anything and everything that makes a loud enough sound. The Abbott family has survived through the ordeal so far, with the notable exception of the death of their youngest child. While tension in the house is high, especially between the father, Lee, played by John Krasinski, and their eldest daughter, Reagan, played by Millicent Simmons, their survival skills are put to the test when the monsters make their way to the house and hunt, which is made all the worse as the mother, Evelyn, played by Emily Blunt, is about to go into labor. I'm conflicted. I understand why I liked this movie when it first came out, and I understand why it's a popular film even today. But having had a lot of time away from this, I noticed that it has some pretty unforgivable tropes that really hold it back from being a good movie. Let's start with the positives. I love the premise. Monsters, you make noise, you die. Those are the rules, and for the most part, it's adhered to. A few iffy moments here and there, but nothing that truly sours the experience. I enjoy how these characters have managed to survive all this time, how they have certain tools that can help them in a pinch. All of that is well executed. I also enjoyed the characters and the chemistry they have with one another. Of course, Krasinski and Blunt are cute together, so there is some natural charm that shines through. I especially enjoy the father-daughter dynamic between characters Lee and Reagan, how their relationship is strained after the death of her little brother. She gets increasingly upset with him as he keeps distancing himself from her, believing he blames her for what happened. I can also kind of see how she would think that when he keeps trying to make her test this custom hearing aid. Sort of like, you know, if you heard that damn toy go off, maybe you could have saved him. I know that's not it, but I can kind of see that going through her head. And I do really like how Reagan is written into this world, how she has her own unique set of advantages and disadvantages. Because she's deaf, she's used to not speaking that much, so compared to everyone else in the Abbott family, shutting up comes as naturally to her as breathing. But she has one very notable disadvantage, and that should come as obvious. These monsters are not subtle. Ironically, they make a lot of noise. Reagan is not going to hear that. Elements like that are played with and done justice. Perhaps I would like to see more of it, but that probably runs the risk of making the runtime longer than it really needs to be. So I'll take it and like it. And seriously, Simmons is just a really good actress. But yeah, it's about that time to talk about the negatives. I'm sure there's more than a few folks out there that are not going to like what I have to say, but I'm going to say them. The parents. They are single-handedly the very reason why this movie doesn't quite work. Exhibit A, the opening sequence. Parents need to watch their kids. I don't care if you're in the middle of Macy's shopping for the latest fashion trends or trying to survive in a world that kills everyone, you gotta watch your kids. First off, why did the entire Abbott family need to go to the drugstore? Just one parent and the one son who seemed to be the reason they were there in the first place, but whatever. The point is he dies. But what makes this entire situation all the more infuriating is later on in the story, Lee has the temerity to say that what happened was nobody's fault.
It was no one's fault.
It's your fault, dumb fuck! Yours and Evelyn's! Sure, if you want to give Reagan any blame, it's that she encouraged the boy to play with the toy. But when all is said and done, 100% of the blame lies with the parents. When y'all were leaving the store, how the hell did one parent not hang out in the back to keep an eye on the kids? One parent leads, the other keeps an eye on the kids. When you don't do that, shit happens. And lo and behold, shit happened. And I feel like this had such a simple fix too. Two simple fixes. The absolute easiest fix is to just nick the scene entirely from the film. Start it after the kid dies. It does not solve how stupid Lee and Evelyn are, but at least you're not piling on how stupid they are. And you kind of leave some ambiguous mystery as to why Lee and Reagan have grown apart. Whatever. All I know is that you didn't need that opening scene. The second fix is to have the kid die in a different way. Like, I don't know, have him fall over and break his arm against a rock or something and he screams out in pain, because of course a kid would do that. That way his death actually feels like an honest mistake that wasn't anyone's fault. But it barely matters. Like I said, get rid of the scene or fix it. It doesn't really solve how Lee and Evelyn are complete morons. Why would you have a baby in the middle of a world that's overrun with monsters that attack anything that makes sound? Women in labor make sound. Newborn babies make sound. I guess unless you're in this universe where newborn babies definitely don't make sound. Yeah, I don't hear that baby making any crying 5 minutes after it's born. You know, this movie's asking me to suspend way too much disbelief. The point is, that pregnancy, that baby, is a ticking time bomb just waiting to kill the entire family. Don't bother telling me, well, it probably wasn't planned. Doesn't matter. The risk ain't worth it. Handjobs and oral sex are things. Get your rocks off like that. Get creative. And don't bother telling me, well, it's possible that the baby was conceived before the monsters attacked. No. According to the movie itself, we're over 400 days into the invasion. 400 plus. Once again, easy fix. Don't make it more than 400 days into this thing. Make it several months so the pregnancy is understandable. And before anyone wants to say, well, time needs to go by so Lee can work on that special hearing aid for Reagan. No, that could have been something that he was working on well before the invasion of the monsters. I also get that they wanted that time to reflect how efficient they are at surviving in this new world, but let's fucking face a few things. One, the death of their youngest kid. Already starting off on a stupid-ass note. Two, one of the kids knocks over a glass lantern and nearly burns the entire house down. Not that efficient. And that nail. Fuck that nail and how stupid Evelyn is. Seriously, over a year into this lifestyle, wouldn't you look back to see what that bag got caught on? My first instinct would be that it was caught on a nail. Even if not, what moron wouldn't double check to make sure that it was a nail that needed to be tended to? I mean, if it is a nail and some poor soul were to step on it... You see the importance of checking on these things? Dumbasses! Look, I definitely don't think it's good. A good idea doesn't really mean a whole lot to me if you have dumb characters carrying the story. Make no mistake, I understand why it's popular. In a sea of reboots, remakes, sequels, prequels, whatever quills are out there, it's very hard to come by original, standalone ideas. And that's exactly what A Quiet Place is. A unique idea, something fresh, something new. And of course, Krasinski and Blunt are very popular actors and are a cute power couple, and of course, that cuteness would be reflected in the movie. So I guess in a weird way, I am kind of recommending it, if only to show studios out there that unique ideas can be profitable and popular. Take a risk once in a while, damn it. That doesn't mean that I think this movie is good by virtue of being original. But, you know, take it for what you will, I guess. My honest rating for A Quiet Place, a 3 out of 5. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. Have a great day. Stay safe and healthy out there. Please wear a mask if you go out. Get vaccinated for family, friends, and community. Hope to see you soon.
So be cool. Face facts. 'Cause time